Hey family, so today's video is going to be a little interesting because I'm going to play the devil's advocate for the first part and answer the question, what if I'm wrong about God? What if he doesn't exist? So let's go there first and then we'll touch on what if I'm right and God does exist and maybe the unbeliever's belief is wrong. So if I'm wrong, and God doesn't exist. I'll be honest, there's not, especially thinking about this, there's not been too many things that I would regret. My biggest regret would be, kind of making videos like this and just lying to people. And when I talk to people, telling them that there is a God when there really isn't, uh, really that would be my biggest regret because I have a personal moral ethic thing about lying. I really pride myself in regards to not lying, and that's just something I personally hold myself to that standard. So that would be my hugest regret. In regards to everything else, I mean, not being able to listen to certain music, for me personally, I can't say that that's a bad thing. That was my Achilles heel many years ago, and the reason I don't regret it is because even the music nowadays, whether it's Spanish or not, because Spanish music, absolutely love that as well, but it's been so trashy. Even the music from, when I was a teenager and stuff, still so trashy. All it talks about is sex, cheating, violence, drugs. I mean, I think those are the main concepts, really. So for me to kind of transition out of that and transition maybe into, Christian music, whether it's Spanish, English, hip hop, rap, merengue, reggaeton. I mean, all of that stuff from a Christian perspective, even if God didn't exist, I can't regret that. I think I'm in a better place musically, even without God, than I was um, with if God didn't exist back in my teenage years. So, anyways, there's that. Music and movies and shows. I would kind of put under the same explanation that I do music for just living my life and doing things that I enjoy. I can't say that I regret that either. I mean, I still travel. I love to cruise. I still play video games. I still do really everything that I could think of that I would enjoy with God than if you know without God. So I can't regret anything there. Now, one thing I would say too is so like the regretful decisions that I've made back in my past, if even without God, the fact that I'm believing in someone that doesn't exist, that helps me, or my belief helps me believe that he truly died for my sins, that I don't have to have any guilt, that I don't have to live with shame. Even that alone just has helped me move to a better place where I'm not in that um, mental space where it's damaging me, if that makes sense. So I can't regret that part. um that's what I'm saying. This is really difficult in regards to thinking of something that if God didn't exist, what I would regret in life. I mean, alcohol. So even if God didn't exist, this wouldn't be a bad thing, really. I still enjoy myself without alcohol. I still have a good time without alcohol. I don't need it. I really don't desire it. I mean, so it's, and the thing is, even the relationship with Christ, it's not like he tells you to completely eliminate alcohol. But anyways, that's for a different video. Um, but I'm just saying, I don't regret it. Like, there's really not much that I would regret if God didn't exist. So let's turn the tables and go into what if you're wrong about believing that God doesn't exist? Well, the concept of eternity is a huge one when it comes to this. Because if you're wrong, then we don't just cease to exist when we die. what happens is this. I want to use this um, this visual, and this I had seen by Francis Chan a while back ago. Love this preacher. I mean, he truly speaks from the mouth. I truly believe that God speaks through him. But anyways, it was an amazing visual. He did it with rope. In this case, I'm going to do it with an extension cord. But I really want you to think about this because it's true. This part right here, the extension cord, represents your life. Now, I don't know what the average lifespan of a human being is, but for the sake of this scenario, let's say 70s or 80s, right? So this is when you're born here, and then this is your life. Obviously, there's your midway point, and then this is your passing. So let's say 85 years old is when you pass. So from birth to 85 years old, this is your life. Now, if God exists, this is just a portion of your life. Because what happens after your actual body passes away? We state as a belief in Jesus. I mean, heck, Jesus states it, not even me. This is me putting my faith in what Christ tells us or in what God tells us. But he states that we would either live eternally with him or live eternally without him. This has been our life here on earth. This is eternity. Okay. Now, this is going to take a while, by the way. Eternity is a really long time. Okay. If you notice, I've already passed that 85-year point, just, moving the extension cord along. You have to remember that your decision in that 85-year mark, or however long you have to live, affects everything you're seeing now. It's going to depend on if you live with God eternally or if you're going to live separated from him. The Bible says you're going to be either living in heaven with no more tears, no more pain, no more regret, no more shame, no more guilt. I mean, none of that, no fears. Or you would be sent to hell, where you would be suffering, being tortured for eternity. This is eternity. Imagine if this was hell. I'm still going. This is past the 85-year mark. You know why? Because eternity doesn't stop. It's hard for any human to really fathom eternity, right? Because as humans, the only thing we could really think about, especially with us seeing death, is the birth and the death of someone. It's really hard to fathom that life can keep going on afterwards, but it does. So what if you're wrong? All of this is just based on one decision that you made because you either chose to listen to the influence of others, you didn't do your own research, you didn't test God to find out if his relationship is true, if he is a true God. You didn't. And so because of all that, or you didn't listen to the influences of those that did talk about it. So like what I'm doing now, you chose to reject it. And ultimately, or you just procrastinated saying, oh, I'll think about God later. I'll talk to God about later. But later came and you never did. And so now it's just eternity. This is all it is. So guys, believers, unbelievers alike, we really have to put our faith in God, understand what's ahead of us when we pass, and what our responsibility here is on earth, because each and every person that's watching this, and even those that are not, we all have a purpose that God assigned us here on earth. I love you all. God bless you all. If anybody wants to talk, shoot me a DM. And see you guys next time.